Well, you're probably wondering to yourself, James, that tree is going crazy since the last time I've seen it. I said going crazy. I don't mean like going crazy. I mean growing. The growth amount has gone crazy over the last time you've probably seen it, and it has. That is the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. No, not really Willy Wonka. It's the cacao tree, but it does make chocolate. And I'm excited with all the growth that we have here this year on that. Well, anyway, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Now, today's episode has nothing to do with the backyard, although I always open in the backyard because I think you like to follow the progress of the growth of all the plants and the trees and the fruits and the vegetables back here. But today is a more serious topic, and it has to do with passports. It has to do with if you are a U.S. citizen, which we have many U.S. citizens, whether they're naturalized previous Filipinos who are U.S. citizens back over here inside the Philippines, or U.S. citizens who are now retiring inside the Philippines, such as myself. Anyway, it has to do with what do you do when your passport is about to expire and you are in a foreign country, like the Philippines, and you are in a pandemic, like around the world. What do you do to get your passport renewed, especially when your embassy is shut down and they are giving you notification that passport services are no longer available? Well, that is the case that we're going to be talking about today. So you might find today's video a bit interesting if you are in the same situation or going to be in that same situation in the near future. But anyway, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Here we are inside the basement. I had to come inside the basement. I'm actually doing two videos today. I'm doing this passport renewal video and I'm doing an irrigation repair video, hence why I'm so kind of wet and sweaty down here. I apologize for that. But you do what you can do when you can do it. Anyway, I have my little handy dandy package here that hopefully contains my renewed passport, and we're going to open that up in just a minute. We'll do a box opening from what we get from the U.S. Embassy in Manila. So I have a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to share this PowerPoint presentation with you. It's not very long, but it has some key elements that I think will help you along if you decide to do this. And why would you want to do this? Why would you want to go through the mail to get your passport renewed up in Manila? Well, the thing is, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and for a while here, until just recently, there was no other way to do that. If you needed to do your passport renewal, you had to do it by mail because they shut down passport services by appointment. That section was closed down. They just recently opened that area by appointment. You can go online and do that. But if you do that, you still have to drive or get some type of transportation or service and go up to Manila. And if you drive yourself, you got to pay for fuel, you got to pay for tolls, you got to find parking. Have you ever tried to park around the U.S. Embassy up there? It's a nightmare. It's very difficult to find a place to park. So now, if you do it this way, you have to do very little. You drop something off in the front of your house, and then you pick something up in the front of your house. You have to do some other processes, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and look over. I have a small PowerPoint presentation, and it's going to give you the key points. So you need to pay attention to some of the key points here that has to do with getting your passport renewed. So anyway, if you want to do this via mail, so I'm going to try to do this. Let's see if I can do this. Anyway, safely and conveniently renew your U.S. passport by mail in the Philippines. Well, we're going to do a few simple steps. Step one, on the U.S. Embassy website, and I have the link here if you're interested. You go to Citizen Services and the passport page. On the passport page, and this is the link to it, you want to download the passport form DS82. The DS82 has all the questions it's going to ask you about your previous passport, about your current situation, your current mailing information, everything you need for them to be able to process your passport renewal. All right, step two. at the very beginning of the DS82, there is an eligibility requirements. So you're going to have to verify you're eligible to use the U.S. passport renewal application mail-in form. And ask you very simple questions, but it asks you about, do you still have your old passport? Is it in good condition? And so on and so forth. There's several questions, very easy to fill it out. They all should be yes. And if they all are yes, then you can continue to process your passport renewal via mail. So go ahead and just do that quick and simple check. All the different checks inside there. They should all be yes. Step 3. Now, this is the important part. You have to gather all these documents. And when I say all, there's really not that many documents. And we'll go through each one of these. Anyway, you have to have your old passport, obviously, because it's getting ready to expire. You need to get a new one. So you have to have it. It has to be undamaged. You can't open it up and like things are torn out or anything like that. It has to be in good condition like you would normally use if you were traveling abroad. You need a photocopy of the passport personal data page. And that is that page that has your picture. It says where you were born, it says when it was issued to you, and it says when it expires. That is, so just make a photocopy of that page inside that. You're going to have that as part of your package. 2 identical passport photos. So that's when you go down to the mall or to any place that produces passport photos, IDs, you just go down there and you say, I need to. Normally, they're going to give you something like 3, 4, 5, or 6 or something like that. Or you're going to need 2 to process inside this package that goes up to the Manila, the U.S. Embassy in Manila. One of them you're going to staple to your DS82. The other one's going to be used for your actual passport, your new passport that you're going to get. They're going to need one on file with your DS82 and one for your passport. You have to have the white background. They'll know when you go into the Photoshop, you tell them, I need a passport photo for a U.S. Passport, and they'll know what to do here in the Philippines. You need to complete and sign the DS82. Fill out all the information in that DS82 application form, and then you need to sign and date it. Okay, and one of the most important things, you got to pay for this. And you pay for this with a U.S. demand dollar draft made out to the U.S. Embassy Manila. And it has to be in the amount of $110. That's what it is as of this date, as I put that little note inside. As of this date, that's the current policy, the requirement. And you have to have 2 separate photocopies of the demand draft. So once you go to the bank and you get your demand draft, have 2 photocopies made. We had ours made down at the bank. They did that as a courtesy. Well, they did it as a courtesy, but they charged us for it. It wasn't very much. Now, see step 4 regarding how to get the demand dollar draft. This is important because we didn't know. And I will tell you a quick story before we go on to step 4, how you get your dollar draft. We thought if you read the instructions from the U.S. Embassy site, it basically tells you you have to have your passport, your the copy of the photo, of your personal data page on your passport. It says you have to have 2 passport photos, and it says you have to have a demand draft. So we thought, because both Ness and I both needed our passports renewed, we thought we just would go down and get the demand draft. A demand draft is nothing more than a cashier's check. It's a cashier's check, but in the currency of the U.S. dollar. It's a very simple thing. We thought that's all you need, and that's all it said on the U.S. Embassy site. Alas, we went to the bank and we got inside there, and there were some more requirements it was not stated on the U.S. Embassy instruction sheet. We're going to go to the next one. Step 4, how to secure the U.S. demand dollar draft. Now, this guidance is correct inside the U.S. Embassy guidance, and it says as of this date. It doesn't say as of this date. I'm telling you as of this date of today's video, there are only 3 banks participating in the mail-in order or the mail-in demand draft program. What you have to do and what it doesn't tell you on the U.S. Embassy website, but was told to us by the BDO rep for this program, you have to bring all these items in to your local branch. Now, this is for BDO. I don't know if BPI or Security Bank, if they also require this, but our local branch of BDO said all those things that you have that you in your package, your passport, your photos, your filled out DS82, everything that's inside there, you have to bring with you into the bank, because the bank, for some reason, had to verify we had all of our documents. I don't understand that. I just wanted a demand dollar draft, a cashier's check. Why did they need to see this? I don't know, but maybe it's something that it's an arrangement between the U.S. Embassy Manila and the local banks with this program. I'm letting you know, go ahead and bring those, because we didn't have it. We had to go home and we had to go back again. So anyway, the three banks are Bank of the Philippines, BPI, Banco de Oro, BDO, and Security Bank, SBC. So those are the three banks that are accredited by the U.S. Embassy Manila to do this program. All right. Now, you have to request the U.S. dollar demand draft in the amount of U.S. dollar 110 made out to the U.S. Embassy. We said that earlier. You might be required to show all the documents in step 3. We were. I said that earlier. Payment using U.S. dollars, using U.S. dollar, basically cash in U.S. dollars, or from your U.S. dollar account. So if you have a U.S. dollar account, which I do, we went ahead and did a draft from our U.S. dollar account. There's another little story that goes along here. Both Ness and myself, we both had to have our passports renewed. We both had to do an application. So what they made me do, they made me do a draft, or basically a withdrawal from my US dollar account to pay for my application. And they made me take money out of my account, hand it over to Ness, and then Ness handed the US dollars over to the to the bank, basically, for her application too. I don't know why I couldn't do $220, just write one check for $220, but be prepared for craziness like that. All right, you might be required to pay a fee. We had to pay a fee, and I think it was in the amount of about $5 per transaction. So for both of us, we had to end up paying, I think, $10 for the transaction fee to do this. Multiple applications might require separate fees, like I just said, and ours was. Submit the application by mail. Now, so how do you do that by mail? This is once you've gotten all your things, you got your passport, you got all those things inside there, you got your demand draft, US dollar demand draft, you have everything that's in your requirements, then you have to get it up to the U.S. Embassy in Manila. So there's 3 ways that you can do that. You can get it by, I put inside it, the options are mail-in using the Embassy Courier Service, Air21, other courier services, and the Philippine Postal Service. There's the address that you would put on the envelope if you're sending it to them, whether it be any of these 3 type of services. You have the address right here, and that is the correct address because I got my package back. Hopefully this is my, hopefully it's my passport and my old passport inside there. We chose to go with the Embassy Courier Service Air21, and I have more information about that. It seems like they kind of pushed that. They gave so much information on it. So since it's kind of affiliated in some way with the U.S. Embassy, we trusted that that's what they felt is a safe way to go. Not that they endorse it, but they have so much information on there about it. We felt that's the kind of impression that we got. Air21 uses contracted pickup and delivery service for adult passport renewals. There's a one-time courier fee of Philippine pesos, 160 within the Metro Manila area, and it's 240 pesos outside the Metro Manila area, which they serviced us here in Batangas, and it covers for both the pickup and delivery of your passport when it comes back. So we only paid 1 fee. Actually, we paid 2 fees. We paid 240 twice because it was for 2 different packages. Again, I don't know. And there's a phone number there. You can coordinate to do the pickup and verify the fees in your area. Okay, final thoughts. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to go back over to, let's see, where we are over here. Final thoughts. It worked really good. The system worked good. We put everything inside our package, 2 separate packages. Ours, we had to put, and they told us, you put it inside a brown envelope, and you seal it, and you address it with that address that I had earlier with your return address on there. Then they repackage it in another type of package. At least they told us that. They were going to repackage for the delivery up to the U.S. Embassy in Manila. It took approximately 2 weeks. They tell you on the website it will take approximately 2 to 3 weeks. So we got it back really quick. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look at what came in my package right here. And I'm hoping that this is my passport. There's some documents inside here, information packages inside here, and I can read those later. But the main thing is, this is what I'm looking for right here. I'm looking for my old, the one with the holes in it. That will be my old passport. Yep, that's me inside there. And the thing about my old one, this has my visa inside here. I have a visa. My SRR visa is inside here. I need this because this is what allows me entry into and out of the country, unlimited. Well, I don't think I can get back in the country right now. That's why we're staying here in the Philippines, because of this pandemic situation. But when we are allowed to leave and come back again, this is going to let me come back in. But we will get this transferred over to the new one through the Philippine Retirement Authority. We'll end up bringing our new passport, and this is my new passport. And yep, this is me, the guy that really needs a haircut. I will probably not look like this once the pandemic's over and I feel safe to go out and get a haircut. But everything looks good on here. So I'm good until 2030 now with my new passport. All right, well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it breaks it down very easy to let you know how to go and get a renewal passport without even leaving your house, other than to go to your local bank and get your picture taken at your local passport photo shop. So that's about it. It was relatively easy, relatively inexpensive, and saved us from having to go up to Manila. That's the big thing. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. So until next time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.